Notice hereby given that a regular meeting of the town of Laguna Vista, Texas will be held Tuesday, the 12th day of September 2023 at 6 p.m. at the town of Laguna Vista City Hall, Laguna Vista, Texas, 78578. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.127, one or more members of the town council may attend and participate via video conference. Informing the town council will be physically present at the above meeting location. The following items will be discussed. Call to order at 6:01. Invocation pledge.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for the many blessings you bestow upon us and our community every day, Lord. Lord, we ask you to be with those who serve others, those who protect us. And Lord, we say a special prayer today for two families, for the family of our own Sophie Degobeo and for the family of Officer Noah Lamont, as they all take care of one another, Lord. We ask all these things in your name, your son's name, we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, and indivisible.
Roll call.
Councilmember Romero?
Sure.
Councilmember Howard? Councilmember Tolan?
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Here.
Councilmember Bryant? Here. Councilmember Degobeo? Mayor Carter?
Here. Second that, Ms. Howard. God.
Her maiden name is Howard, yes. She's probably laughing.
Motion made by Councilor Gonzalez, seconded by Mayor Carter, to excuse Ms. Howard and Ms. Degobeo.
Councilmember Romero?
Yes.
Councilmember Tolan?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bryant?
Yes.
Mayor Carter?
Yes. Open forum at this time, the audience is allowed 3 minutes per person to address the council on any topic. There will be no discussion or simple action taken during the agenda item. Speakers must identify themselves before speaking. The request must be presented to the city secretary prior to the meeting.
We have.
I see we have none. Moving on to a new business discussion, consideration of possible act on each of the following items. Item 1, minutes, consideration of possible action to approve the following minutes: the May 23rd, 2023 special town council meeting, August 8th, 2023 town council meeting, August 21st, 2023 special town council meeting, and August 22nd, 2023 special town council meeting. Got a lot of meetings in the last month or so, guys. Thank you for all of that.
Mayor, we didn't get the August 22 finalized, so we're going to ask to table that one till the next meeting, but the other 3 are in the packet. A lot of talking on those meetings.
They'll be ready by next week.
Yes. Yeah, the August 22nd one's both.
Any questions, comments, corrections?
Motion to approve the May 23rd, August 8th, and August 21st meeting agendas.
Motion made by Councilor Tolan and seconded by Councilor Bryant to approve the May 23rd, 2023 special town council meeting, August 8th, 2023 town council meeting, and August 21st, 2023 special town council meeting.
Romero?
Yes.
Councilmember Tolan?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bryant?
Yes.
Mayor Carter?
Yes. And I think we should make a motion to table August 22nd, 2023 special town council meeting until next month.
So moved.
Council, motion made by Mayor Carter, seconded by Councilmember Tolan to table August 2022 2023 special town council meeting minutes until the next meeting.
Thank you.
Councilmember Romero,
Yes.
Councilmember Cullen,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Bryant,
Yes.
Mayor Carter.
Yes. I have two financial reports, reviewed monthly financial reports.
So, in your packet, you have the financial reports that are in there every month. The first part is the, bank refunds for the general fund. Then you have the statement of revenues and expenditures. And the check register. So if anyone has any questions. Have a little bit more information when we do the audit, but I mean, everything is on track, other than we already know about the building fund with, low was that was pointed out during the budget meeting last month, so nothing.
Yeah, payable on the general fund. The improper amount, the account payable. Okay. Yeah.
So 149.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And also on the hotel occupancy tax. Account number 2,500, your general fund has an improper balance on the asset side of things. The 189. That's a receivable, not a, that's a payable, not a receivable.
Yes, sir.
On page 7, what is the line item hurricane supplies last year? What is that?
So we use that for the budget line item is we use it for anything that we might need. So sand bags, if we need any water, sometimes like last year when we had the storms, we bought the big crate of flats of waters for the citizens or anything like that. So any supplies that we might need for that, getting batteries, things like that for the staff and be prepared for during a hurricane. Shovels. I walk away.
Here's an even larger issue. If you look at the balance sheet on the general fund. Now I'm not talking about $188, but this is the important stuff. The due from hot fund 189 is the correct balance. Okay. And the due to general fund 189 on the asset side, that could be due to, but down in liability section. The math works, but it's
In the wrong.
both on the asset side of things and
Oh,
like I said, the math works, but it
this one.
doesn't,
Okay.
it doesn't jive the way it should, right?
Okay, so we know what entry it is, and so we'll get it.
It isn't even an entry, it's like that account it's a due to in the asset side, so that due to needs to be moved down to a liability account.
You're saying that the due from hot fund 189 should be a due to? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, that, okay, on Page 6 of the hotel occupancy tax balance sheet. Fund balance sheets.
Page 1 of the balance sheet.
It's like,
If you look at page 1 of the balance sheet.
Right.
Page 1 of the balance sheet has the 189 due from,
Right,
okay, which is a debit balance, which is the correct, that's correct.
right.
Okay. And if you look, go back 5, 6 pages later. The hotel occupancy tax balance sheet,
What is that?
page 6. Balance sheet. Okay, you look at the asset side here. See the due to general fund 189. That's a credit balance on the asset side of things.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Improper. That needs to be moved out of liability. Like I said, the math works. It just needs to be moved. If they were all making better, right?
We're getting there again.
Any other questions? Comments? We must ask, but I need to check. Moving on, item 3, 2022-2023 audit firm designation, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the designation of independent audit firm for the town charter.
So every year we do the independent audit for the charter, and we have to designate a firm to do that. We do that obviously via the engagement letter. The last 4 years we've used Crossworks and Associates, and I've engaged them, as long as you guys approve tonight, to start our audit for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. And just as a side note, their prices did increase from $16,000, which is what we paid for the last 4 years, to $18,000. They, when I talked to Mr. Christina, he advised that I guess it's their practice that they do a rate for about 4 to 5 years, and then every 4 to 5 years they increase their rate. So that's why we're at the $16,000 for so many years, and now it's just a. It's not because of anything. It's just a price increase across the board. So they're raising it from 16,000 to 18,000. And if you guys approve, then they would start their audit. I think we're on the books for super early. They're gonna start. We have everything, got everything ready to go as soon as we get the engagement letter. That way we can get the audit report turned around in time via the charter time. We said they'll get the books closed by the end of October, and I think they're starting with their review sometime during October. We'll start sending in the documents and things like that. So should we approve it tonight?
Go to that. We need to appoint a community member and 2 members of the council to be on the audit committee.
So that's number 4, I think.
Very good. I'm all Buses and so and audit firm. Second. David Mayor Carter, seconded by Councilmember Dr. Romero to accept the Coppers and Coppers audit firm.
Councilmember Romero?
yes.
Councilmember Tolan?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bryant?
Yes.
Mayor Carter?
Yes. Item 4, 2022-2023 audit committee designation, discussion and consideration of possible action on 2 council members and 1 resident to serve on audit committee for town charter.
So as your attachment, I just included the page of the charter that talks about this. It's not something we've done in a while, but as reviewing the charter and trying to get us back to per charter designations, we do have to have a audit committee. And it's consisted of just that 2 town council members and a resident that will work with the town council staff for the I mean, it says right there, you'll review all proposals received and make recommendations with town council, direct the work of the independent auditor as the scope of the annual audit and any matters of concern with respect to internal controls, and receive the report of the auditor and forward the report to the council with any recommendations from the committee.
In the past, if any of us can remember back that far, we will, how did we choose the citizen? Was it somebody that was on like committees or?
We always had Frank. Frank was always the guy. And then we had Michigan also for a while. It was just as up to the board to decide on a committee, on a community member on who we would like to have part of the audit committee.
I just thought of someone. Not Mr. Howard. Not Mr. Howard, Mr. Worrell. Because he's a citizen now.
Yeah, we could, it crossed my mind too, because of this.
I was actually thinking that I would like to find somebody who is on the board, who understands.
He's so detail oriented.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we can just make them.
Yeah. He just got voluntold.
Because we have the meeting prior to the meeting is how it usually works. And so is that your motion?
Yes.
And then we also have to pick 2 members of the council.
I guess we could do it separately, right?
That's fine, we can do that.
When do they meet?
Yeah, what is it that they actually do?
When do they meet?
We actually,
The audit.
they meet throughout the audit if they feel that they need to, and then when the auditors come and give their report, they give them the report to the audit committee.
Before it comes to.
Yes, before the council, and then the audit committee makes a recommendation.
And I don't know when the last time they've done it, but everything is almost done electronically now. So what with the permission of the council is what I was thinking we could do is just add them onto the emails of anything that we send to any of the communication with the auditors. So, because it says that they're supposed to participate in.
I would not do that. I would ask, I would say that it would be city managers. If anything were to come up in the audit that needed to be discussed. Because there's a lot of things that people don't need to see.
Great.
Personal type items, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think if things, that's what we've done in the past, if things needed to be discussed, then the committee would be called and.
Probably only 1 or 2 meetings between here and when the audit's done.
Probably not expected to be January. That would.
Yeah, so that's he's gonna start. So I think we're supposed to have it done within 90 days, and that's what I told him I wanted to. That was gonna be my goal to do it within the 90 days.
So somewhere in the January time.
Yeah, December, January. I don't think I'll for you guys an audit committee in December. I mean, an audit report in December.
Well, I've got probably more time than anybody to do extracurricular things, so I wouldn't mind volunteering to do it. So, and I'm volunteering.
There you go. So I get motion that in.
We need to make a motion.
Motion.
So much.
Motion to have. Council appointment Brian on the audit committee. Oh, and citizen Victor Warren. Well, that was almost that. We could have all done it one. Okay. Second.
Okay. Motion made. Councilmember Gonzalez, seconded by Dr. Romero, to appoint Councilmember Tolan, Councilmember Bryant, and Victor Worrell to the audit committee. 2022-2023.
Councilmember Romero,
Yes.
Councilmember Tolan,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Bryant,
Yes.
Mayor Carter.
Yes. My first year not being on this.
I'll text Rick, look at the,
Tell him the good news.
tonight on Facebook. We have a little surprise for you.
Things you shouldn't have.
Item 5, hot holiday incentive program, discussion considering hot flag to initiate the hot holiday incentive program. Randy.
So I got together, one of the big requests we've had for the last couple of years is to update our Christmas decorations around town. And as you know, those are not cheap investments. So I was trying to come up with some ways to use some of our funds, and one of the things we're trying to do is obviously promote our town. And so I got together with Alan. So the first document is a memo from me. A second one is a memo from him since he wasn't going to be here. So the proposal is we would like to have you guys approve a hot holiday program wherein we would simply suggest that if you own a hot rental property, to maybe give a holiday discount during the month of December. Whether or not anybody takes us up on that offer it's not contingent on us actually saying we can then use hot funds to help purchase any of the funds for this program. So what we would be doing is saying we'd be tying the two together, which hopefully it would work, right? Hopefully we could up our curb appeal, really push hard on our promotion of our events, say what we have, and hopefully some of our registered hot properties would benefit from the promotion and actually, you know, increase their stays and things like in the sales, which is ultimately what we want. But doing it this way would be the appropriate way to spend the hot funds on that sort of investment for the town. So we would be I want to stress the owners would not be obligated to participate for us to still use the funds. It's the fact that we are connecting the dots between our investment, using the hot funds in order to hopefully promote them. If they take part, that's not contingent. If they decide to offer some sort of holiday booking discount, then they decide what they want to do. They decide all the terms. We have nothing to do with it other than as far as the town goes, we will advertise via our pages, just the hot properties, right? I will have a link on our website that gives all of our registered properties extra access or easier access to people that want to come stay in Laguna Vista. Our website, things like that, will have a promotion for the program, or just the incentive to come stay at Laguna Vista. And then Mr. Osuna found a town in Denver that does something very similar. They use the HOT program to actually fund their Winter Wonderland event and different things along the way. And so some of the ways that, or just our supporting documents. So if anyone ever were to come back and say, why did you use these funds? The program, we would, depending on how much you guys say we would like to spend on holiday decor, we would say that percentage of that's going to be covered by HOT. So say you guys tell me, well, we want to spend $30,000 on Christmas decor. Let's do 10,000 from CDC, 10,000 from HOT, and 10,000 from, you know, the general fund. And obviously the percentage there would be, you know, 10%. And the expected attendance and the target, those are simply guesses. Those are what those form had. And again, Alan said that they have no bearing on, we don't have to meet those targets. We don't have to do it. It's just showing the connection that we are trying to promote our town or heads and beds with this upgrade or with this feature and with this program. Because we will be advertising to come stay in Laguna Vista. Say, you know, the material we would produce would indicate that we want you to stay overnight. And on the decorations themselves, we can also put a little signage that was, you know, contributed by CDC and your whatever. So this is just kind of for consideration, obviously, for you guys to think about, ask questions. If you guys give me sort of a loose approval of, I've looked for Christmas decorations, and we are talking anywhere between 5,000 to however much you guys want to spend or something, you know, and that lot up there up front, we're at 5, 10, and 100, where I think we would really like something statement piece. It's a big area. that, you know, you're gonna need a large, I think to get something full that would look decent up there, you're looking at easily $20,000 or $30,000 for some decor. That's gonna last, that's not gonna have to be repurchased the next year, you know, and things like that. So it's just an idea, trying to figure out a way. We have about over $200,000 in our hot account. And so, it was just an idea for consideration, so.
With the purchase of Christmas decorations fall into advertising.
That's where
Because you're limited on the amount that you can purchase on tax.
because we're purchasing,
Advertising.
right, but so according to Mr. Osuna and I, we've talked about this a lot, and he is comfortable with it because we would be attaching it to a program. We're doing the holiday program, we're doing the purchase of the decor is part of the program to advertising and marketing to get people to stay. We're not just purchasing decorations and not doing anything with it. We are going to advertise and reach out to all the hot owners to give them this opportunity to say, hey, we're gonna boost up our, you know, our promotion for this.
But then you can also categorize those as assets and then depreciate over 5 years. So that expense would actually cut down tremendously on the expense hitting the income statement.
And
so the capital outlay would be an investment basically in the city. And
right.
And Alan talks about that in paragraphs 2 and 3 of this letter to us, is that how other communities have done that, buying Christmas decorations, by tying it into hotel stays and marketing the town for hotel stays. That's that.
But we're still limited on what we can spend on advertising.
No, he didn't say that. He said we weren't limited. We could decide. He said it would. You guys decide what. I could do, if you guys said we want to spend $50,000 from HOT and we want to spend it all from HOT, that line I would put 100%. You know, I don't know that we want to do that much, but yes, your CDC, we're limited to the 10%. Correct.
He says the town is only required to demonstrate the connection between the HOT expenditure and the promotion of tourism and hotel lodging use. The anticipated use need not be extensive. Again, using Benbrook as an example. The city only reported anticipating 2 to 4 overnight guests as a result of its expenditures.
So basically, this is completely covered by the public.
It can be.
And it's strong.
Yeah, I mean, Alan
So
would.
it sounded like
Yeah, Mr. Osuna is completely supportive of it. He says that obviously there's a very slim chance that anyone even questions it anyway, but with the program that I'm offering and what we're going to be doing to demonstrate that it is tied together. Like I said, the intent is genuine anyways. We would like to get people to stay. I would like to help, you know, make sure everybody that has a hotel rental in December, you know.
That's $222,000 right now. We're in our slowest time of year, so it won't increase that much next January.
We can get 10,000 from the CDC. They didn't get a quorum last week, so I was going to ask them for more money than the 10,000, but we wouldn't be able to get it by the time it posts and everything in time. So, but they do have the $10,000 that's for promotional that Alan also confirmed that I would be able to ask for, and then which they typically earmark for the fireworks. But we would have time to advertise for the fireworks, and we will do it a little different, which I could go into later. Which, but so we can have $10,000 from CDC right now, assuming they approve it. We can have it as of the October meeting. So to go towards this, and then whatever you guys decide. And I can have it your October meeting. I can have a couple options once you guys give me a money.
Definitely would want to ask CDC for their entire budget. We have multiple things throughout the year, and we rely on advertisers for people donating money to the fire department, and so the CDC can only have to.
Yeah, they always pay half of the fireworks.
They always fill that gap. You know what I mean?
And they still could. or however you want to do it.
So how much money are you asking?
Well, that's what you guys have to decide. I can get you anything from 20,000 will get us something very,
But it sounded like you said 5,000 for, and then 20,000 for the quarter. So you have 25,000 for
well, 20,000 I think is what we can get some, a nice display, on 100 and, mhm.
Is it what was the other 5,000 for?
I don't recall.
Additional 5,000. Maybe the streets here are.
I don't recall what I said.
But the agenda item is really not to authorize any amount of money.
No.
I mean, it's
Well,
just
no,
to-
I just think,
It's just to initiate, so we're going to initiate the program, which I think is very creative and something we ought to do.
yeah, and I just need you guys to give me a ballpark of what you would like to
Yeah,
spend.
she's asking for.
Well, yeah, because I'm gonna actually ask for the money in October though, but I need to know,
Right, but this
do you want me
is
to
so
come
that
up
we-
with?
So that we can start the program.
Yeah.
So you can start advertising the program, that's what the agenda item is about.
Right, because I wanna start, I wanna send out all the letters to the, well, I wanna do it as soon as possible, so if they wanted to participate, they could.
Right, right, because they're gonna start booking really soon, like winter Texas that are coming in November.
If we say 25,000, you're still looking at 10,000 from CDC and.
And 25,000 would be from the hot fund. That's what you guys are.
Read those. Those old cutouts are old.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those things are sun,
Dated.
sunbeam.
I'd say run with it.
Right.
That's how I feel. It sounds like a great idea. And we have the money around that, and we have the money for it.
I'm a nostalgic kind of guy. I really like the mill guy, that Bobcat, that we have something that has that local flair to it. So would we go along that same path and try and do something that is not just ready-made off the shelf, but still try and do something that's fabricated or has that local flair, or what do you envision for this display? Not that far.
I have looked at, I've looked at a lot of things. My biggest concern is whatever we buy, I want it to look good at day and night. I don't want to just buy the light ones that only look good at night because we're spending a lot of money for just night. So I'm trying to find something that we can benefit from 24/7. So I'm trying to find something along those lines. So if we do a cutout, things like that, then we would just have to invest spotlights, things like that, that would actually make them visible at night. So that's been one of my key, trying to narrow it down, is something that would be pretty at night and during the day. So there's a big, nice Christmas tree set. If you guys want to give me $65,000, there's 6 trees that plays music. Will be great. If you guys want to do that, that's my favorite. And I'll renovate that. Yeah, and we'll do some of those. Yeah, we'll do the little, yeah.
I like what you're saying, that we need something that's
Represents us, yeah.
and not something that we can go down the road and see in
Anywhere else.
Bernie
Anywhere else in the
or,
world.
or
Well,
Bandera.
and that was kind of there with that Santa and his fishing.
Well, and
Maybe
then,
an ocelot.
so do you want more wood? Do you want more wood cutouts like that, just in those like updated wood cutouts? Is that what you guys are thinking, or?
Plus,
I think a combination of something that would be more substantial and a little bit more modern, right, nice, right, but also to add in the local small town flair. To find that balance will be up to you.
I got you. All right.
real good.
So,
And I guess as you're doing this and you come up with creativity coming into this, see what we're talking about in terms of what.
Okay. I'll put a couple proposals together and then you guys can decide on money.
I gotta use that.
I think a healthy investment in good Christmas that would last, 5 years is something that we should do. I think it's something that the citizens would like to see, so.
get it.
And I mean, there's a growing confidence in the things that you've done.
You know, and then also,
Yeah, it's-
and then also talking to the people that are renting their places. You know, to show that we're trying to promote their business. You know, that's a big plus for the community also, because there's a lot of investment property in this town. And so that would be a really good for them also.
We have 120 registered, retail vendors.
Yeah. Because
it's not gonna go.
Yeah,
Is there an updated list
yes,
that like we can see?
yeah, it should go up on the web, it'll go up on the website before October 1st when I send all this out. I have it, I don't have it live yet, because I want to make sure everything's right before I send it live. But yes, there is a updated list with the addresses, and I'm gonna try to get with the owners and see if I can figure out where they, what I want to do is like, so when you click their property, if they like it from VBRO, that's the link I'm gonna put, you know, with their property on our website, if, you know, wherever they want me to advertise it. So I'm trying to get,
and it changes not.
yeah.
I mean, it changes much more than anybody would.
Yeah, because if someone comes in and rents it for 2 months, then you're obviously off the.
Well, none of that we can sell, people don't decide it's rented anymore, I mean, this. There's
So
no.
I have a question
My business.
that is kind of on topic. If somebody buys a house and they decide to rent it, how do they know?
Well, that's up to, that's there's a lot of discussion about that, right? And that was, the administration was, you know, needs to go out and try to find those places. Right on VRBO or wherever, okay? And make sure that they're registered, okay? The island has spent a lot of time and a lot of money to try to do this, and I know that they've changed their point of direction multiple times to try to get there, because it's very difficult. And it's a constant battle.
We did it for 41 council.
Yeah, that was a major
For the existing owners, but you know, it's hard to.
And it's one of those that I as this year progresses, it's on my list of making sure not only that we're promoting the businesses, but that we're pushing out the material. We have a lot of people, you know, the citizens are great about telling on their neighbors. You know, I mean, we are a very self-reporting town. So usually it's usually 1 or 2 months that we get word that somebody's renting that isn't, that they call and check, is this person on there, and you know, then we find them. So, and we do go on VBRO as best we can to, but that'll, we're gonna fine tune it. We got it all rolled out last year, and hopefully this year we'll keep fine tuning.
But on VRBO, they don't put the address.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It's
No address, you have no idea. You have to know, like, you have to look at the house and know where the house is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the estate, when the state comes in, if the state were to come audit, the state won't tell the city, because they don't audit the city about hot tax, they only audit the individual for the state. So it's a difficult situation.
Yeah, the ones that are really hard too are like the condos and stuff that are inside, like you don't really know who's, lots of people coming and going. So, but we have 120 regular that are paying, and so we'll get
Do you
more.
remember the number before this?
Wasn't it like 70 something that we're only like that we're paying regularly?
When you have resulted from the work that was done, but this would be discussed
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, the council updated the hot tax ordinance, which helps. So, and I have it on the website, you know, the whole hot. So there's and
Yeah, 8 more days. to pay your hot tax.
yeah.
This was supposed to be a short meeting, right?
I know.
I'd like to make a motion if I.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I move to authorize the city manager to initiate the holiday incentive program.
I'll second.
Motion made by Councilman Tolan, second by Councilman Bryant to approve the holiday incentive program.
Councilmember Romero?
Yeah.
Councilmember Tolan?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bryant?
Yes.
Mayor Carter?
Yes. Item 6, event calendar, discussion, consideration, possible action regarding your meeting 2023 events.
So this is just a quick update. Normally I put this in the city manager report, but just so anybody that might be watching our meetings knows that the event for Fall Festival is coming up on October 27th. We will be Friday at 6 o'clock. It'll be the pretty much it's the same events as we always do. The events and what we're gonna have for activities is still to be determined, but we will be asking for candy donations for any vendors. We're going to try to increase the number of vendors that we get this year. So we're gonna try to move, you know, before we had the tents all on one side, we ran the electrical, which we don't want to do. So we're gonna try to rearrange the tents a little bit so we can have maybe 10 or 15 more vendors at the event, because we know it's big for crafts and things like that around that time for people to sell in their businesses. So we're going to try to increase the number of vendors that we get. And I don't think there's anything substantial that's not going to be anything different than what we normally do, other than what we actually for activities. And then the Christmas event on December 8th, I wanted to make sure we bring note that normally we do it the first Friday of December. But when we got together with all the cities and we all tried to agree on dates for the events throughout the year, we fought really hard to keep our 4th of July, a good date for 4th of July. And as a result, we sacrificed Christmas because they do the parade, they do that for Christmas, and the island would not budge on the Christmas. So we thought, that was reasonable. And so as a result, though, it'll be great because now we're going to try to get a hold of and have some band maybe come over and do a performance, or the cheerleaders or the dance team. And we couldn't do that before because they were all in the parade. So
When's Portisville doing theirs?
Port is the, do you remember what date they're doing theirs?
They're doing theirs on, I believe it's the Saturday.
It's that, yeah.
So the island's doing the Friday and Portisville's doing the Saturday.
Yeah, and then we're doing it the following weekend. Crystal got with them in January and they sat down. So because last year all three of us did it.
That was the bottle.
Yeah.
Any other school folks figures are.
Yeah, that's great. Good job.
So I know that was what most that's the only thing I wanted to bring to light about that. Is just if you're wondering why. So we're just gonna light the town up the day after Thanksgiving like normal. I don't know that we'll do necessarily the tree lighting. It'll just be a Christmas event because everything large. Because I don't want to wait till December 8th to light up the tree. Okay, 10-4. So there's really no action.
No, there's no action. Item 7, Town Council October meeting date, discussion, consideration, possible action to change the October meeting date. Randy.
So Crystal and I will both be at the TML training during the second Tuesday of October. So we will not be able to be here. So my proposal was to move it to the next Tuesday is the 17th. However, I know Ms. Howard tends to have games on Tuesdays, so if we wanted to do Wednesday, but either way, I just need to move it. Mr. Ozuna, I checked with him, he is available the 17th or the 18th, whichever you guys decide.
What if we do the 3rd? No, the 4th.
I'll be out of town then.
The 4th, okay.
Now, I'll be out of town, but Crystal would be here, but he would be here, so that was fine.
I'm just one person, I think the rest of the board doing on the 3rd. What time is it? One.
It'll just be a little harder with financials because the month will just have ended.
Remember the 18th? Sure. All right. We don't need a motion.
Okay.
Item 8, executive session. We don't have any executive session. Manager report.
I have it detailed and everything, and Ms. Howard's not here. Okay, there's really no change with any of the grants. We're all still standing by. Where the library grants for ARPA are proving to be kind of difficult because any of the contractors that are bidding on that aren't federally approved. They don't have the same number. So we're trying to find some alternative ways to get some vendors. So everything's status quo on all the grants. For the biweekly overview for me, the photographs for, I think everyone's gotten the email by now I've got this photograph scheduled for the website for all the council members and staff. And those will be done September 29th or September 30th, depending on which day you want to sign up. A quick headshot and a full body shot. We'll use the headshot for the website for your bio He's going to superimpose a group photo, so we don't all have to be there at one time. And he's going to, he'll do the same thing with the staff, so we'll have a staff picture and a council picture. The council picture's backdrop will be, you guys will look like you're in the ecotourism center, and staff will look like they're looking out over the bay, so that way we can feature our town, along with who our council members are. So I can use that for promotional material and things like that on our website. So it should be pretty good. We're also gonna get all the officers' pictures taken. Most police officers at police stations have all of their pictures of their officers and things like that. We don't have that done. So they'll get their customary picture with the flag and get a group picture of those. So that way we can update the website to have and be more uniformed and be more professional. So if you haven't signed up already, I'll get with you in did you? Okay, well, if you can't do it, because we'll see. He's local. John is local, so we can figure out when to. And he's not doing it. It'll all be inside. It's a gray screen, and so that way he can superimpose the picture. So one of the things I liked about him, and we went with a more professional photographer, was so if for some reason council members change, something happens, we're not having to go redo a group photo every time. We'll just leave and we'll move somebody else in. So but so that's so if you guys have any questions there, I can move on. The stripes has been a big concern for a lot of I get more complaints on stripes than I do about anything that I have any control over. So I have reached out to the regional manager. I just wanted to let you guys know, because I do know that citizens have probably reached out to you guys too, or I assume they do. And I'm complaining every time I get a complaint. So I'm trying to be the squeaky wheel. Doobie's giving them, pressure anytime they have litter everywhere. So we're trying, and they had a health inspection visit that didn't go great and had to have a re-inspection, but I haven't gotten any results of the re-inspection. Social media is bad enough, but we managed to get bad press on the Brownsville social media page because they were complimenting a Brownsville stripes there, and they said, oh, well, good thing it's not the Laguna Vista stripes, they have, whatever, and it went on and on and on. So I sent that to the regional manager, so I'm working hard to try to get that cleaned up. Every time I go get gas and there's poop on the handle, I send him a picture. I figured eventually he'll want me to stop texting him. So just so you know, that's where we're at, or trying to make progress. The town siren, a few meetings back, we had a resident talk about the need for the siren to come back. So we've done a little bit of legwork on researching on the siren. So if we're going to get a siren that would meet the FEMA standards for the sound, it's suggested that we would need 2 sirens to cover the entire town. The company that we got the quote from suggested that one would be put on 510 and Bethpage, and one at David Cuervo and Highway 100. Obviously the bigger siren we would get, maybe the different placements, but the 2 that they suggested would give the whole town the coverage. The turnkey installation for 2 of their standard quote unquote units would be about $67,000. That has no battery backup, which I think is sort of an oxymoron if you're talking about an emergency. I figured and then if you look at it, the next one that they gave us was 1 unit that would have the battery backup. It only goes up by $1,000. So, it seems like a no-brainer. If we're spending $67,000, we'd want to spend $68,000 to get the backup. They would go on 45-foot wooden telephone poles, so whichever locations they're decided at. And then the turnaround time would be 8 to 10 weeks from when we ordered. But they did encourage us to go through any of the FEMA, LRGVDC, or the USDA Rural Development Community. They said all of those have grants and funding opportunities for towns that have less than 20,000 residents. So I'm going to look into that. So this is just to kind of give you guys an update on it, as I'm not really proposing anything. This is just kind of what I'm trying to look at. And I know we've talked about the siren a few different times, and just to give you guys a ballpark of what money we're talking about to do something like that.
I think they'll go into some residents would like to see to be the old siren back where it belongs. It's gone. I guess the old siren is not going to come back.
It's not, we don't have that anymore.
Died.
Well, yeah, it died, and like the quotes that, this was even this is 2 administrations ago, and it wasn't gonna be fixable. It was deemed unfixable, so it got to the scrapyard.
On with the fire.
Sorry.
So we're still having one.
Well, that's what she's saying.
Well, that's kind of where I'm trying to, I mean, I'm just giving you guys the idea of what, so if we're wanting it just for symbolic purposes and we can have one here, then I'm sure there's a cheaper one that we can buy that wouldn't, it's not gonna serve any emergency purpose because it's not gonna reach anywhere.
I think it'd be great to have the emergency ones,
Mhm.
but I also think it'd be nice to have the traditional one that blew off 6 minutes after 12. Every year, every day,
I
just
think,
because it was just kind of a signatures Laguna Vista thing.
I think there was the smaller one, there was one that was about $30,000, but they didn't suggest it because of it doesn't go very big, so, I mean, so that's probably what we're looking at for one that would just do this. Or we would do one of the, I don't know, because the area it would cover, right? So we'd have to kind of look at the map and see what the area would cover and how we have to.
The SMS alert system that you're implementing is far more effective, I think, than a siren could ever be.
But yeah,
Because, I mean, virtually everybody has a cell phone and it goes off in the night.
So
Yeah.
if it was just the nostalgia siren, a grant wouldn't work because it wouldn't
Yeah.
be in compliance,
Correct.
right? So it would be, okay.
so, okay, so I'll keep looking at grant options and see what we can find and more information. I'll just keep updating you guys. I just wanted you to let you know what I was doing. Sunset Breeze subdivision, on August 30th, our engineer gave Sames the final approval for their, for the subdivision. Mr. Osuna and I had a conference on September 7th, and we told Sames that, we were ready as far as they were to do their credit letter and their Mylar plans. They have all of the approvals that they need from the agency that, you know, they got there. We approved them pending all of the appropriate permits, and all of that is done. And, but I've not seen anything from them since. And, the 3rd bullet point shouldn't be under the Sunset Breeze subdivision, but anyway, so that's where, so Sames, we're still waiting on them. I believe they plan on trying to, put a shovel in the dirt by, late fall, maybe early winter, kind of November-ish is their goal. I don't even know if it'll take that long, but I haven't gotten the credit letter from them to sign. We've not signed the Mylar plan, so that's where it's at, but everything's ready to go. September 8th, I attended the Texas Economic Development Council Sales Tax Workshop. Actually, Mr. Osuna was there as well. And a lot of great things going on. I learned a lot about the legislative updates, and we have to make a few changes, minor, maybe how we post things with CDC, or we could, you know, we can kind of group things differently than we used to have to do. So it was very informative. There's a lot of economic options that we can do. I don't think Laguna Vista is interested in being that big of an economic force, but you know, we will want some economic business development at some point. So it'll be good information to apply at a later date, especially when we start developing on 100. And then just wanted to give a quick reminder, recap that the upcoming events we have, remembering Officer LeBlanc's moment of silence tomorrow morning at 9 at the Veterans Park. Then there's also the LNG advisory board meeting tomorrow afternoon that I'll attend. And the LNG groundbreaking ceremony will be October 3rd. And then our fall festival and our Christmas event. And then I won't read the department overviews for you guys, but each of the Chief David, Chief Waters, and Manny both put up, I'll have an update in here. And then as well as the library. And our stats for the building and for, but unless you want me to read that.
Question. I noticed that I saw some sort of large piece of heavy machinery taking the old library sign away.
So yeah.
And I got very excited, and I wondered if there a new more sign was coming.
Well, no, well, eventually the library is weird. I'm gonna get some renderings of a new library needs a lot of work. So yes, there'll be a new sign, but I don't want to do anything until we figure out what we're actually gonna do kind of with the library,
Sure,
so.
overall, right.
Yeah, so, but the old sign wouldn't hold the letters anymore, and it was just looking worse than it did good, so it just sort of became an eyesore, so we just decided to.
Letters on that sign.
Yeah. That was fun. So, yeah, so in my library report, Huda and Liz and I met. We have, for over a year now, we have tracked attendance at the library, and it's just clear that we've got to change. They opened later, they opened on Saturdays, and the numbers are just what they are. So we're going to make it a priority this year to get some options on how to revamp and update, and even if it's just updating furniture and moving books around so there's tables in there. I mean, even if it's something as simple that we do as that, there's a grant opportunity that Patty Alexander and I were looking at about developing a sensory room for kids with sensory, in the library. So, we're going to focus some efforts onto what we can get for grants for libraries and some developments. And I know that Friends of the Library Board are also ready to fundraise as soon as I give them a clear direction of what the fundraise for.
Anybody else? Okay. Meeting adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
It's like the community.
It's a tradition.
Motion by Commissioner Councilmember Tolan, seconded by Councilmember Bryant.
Councilmember Romero?
Yeah.
Councilmember Tolan?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bryant?
Yes.
Mayor Carter?
Yes.
Thank you, ladies and chief. Stop. All the minutes.